how do I say this? He would be Bruce Wayne type rich. Like rich to the point where you can't really get in trouble like that, but he can, but he can't. Basically, he was running his own tests on animals. Well, animal DNA. He was thinking of making a power so great and powerful that it can also hold animal genes. So, like for example, you know how wolves, right? They can like see in the nighttime and everything like that. Well, that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to mix it with animal DNA and give people like, how do I describe it? And by the way, I'm sniffing in a lot because my nose is kind of stuffy because of allergies. Now, anyway, as I was saying, yeah, you could basically, but he wouldn't do it illegally though. Like he would get people that would want to audition to do this. You know, some people want power, some people were in it for the money. I mean, most of the tests failed, and the government said one more failure, and Izuku's Izuku's lab will be shut down. Which of course Izuku couldn't allow that to happen. So he decided to exhaust all of his research onto himself. Now, the thing about this was, when he did this at first, everybody thought nothing happened. But I'm gonna say, just like all the other subjects, a week later, Izuku was found dead. Now, here's the thing about Izuku's case, and all the others. They didn't exactly fail the tests, no. They died, they temporarily died, and then came back. And the reason for this was because of all the power that was going into their bodies. So they would temporarily die and then come back. But of course nobody knew this. So all the other people, they still haven't woken up from their deaths. Now, Izuku was also buried. See, the thing about this was, it would have brung another tailed beast into the world. And, not another, but it will bring the first tailed beast into the world. And as soon as he was buried, about a week later, he rose. He rose from his grave. And all the others that were put inside the same place, because there couldn't be any proof of a failed test like this. Like if a test fails like this, you could seriously like go to jail for life. So they couldn't let this out to the public. So instead, they all buried them into a co-op site, basically a site that nobody would look for them in, and it didn't look suspicious, and nobody would expect anybody to be buried there. Now, they all woke up at about the same time. Each one of them rose from their grave, and as they saw the next rise, and the next after that, they stayed to watch them. They all questioned each other, but then they realized that the tests worked. Izuku realized this first because, first off, he could feel a different type of energy. Not like adrenaline or blood. It was powerful, and also he felt stronger. Like, you know when you just get done from lifting some weights, or just got done from doing some push-ups, and you know you ain't that much stronger, but you feel stronger? That's how they would feel. Now, after, that happened, they basically they all basically realized that their power worked. Now, the weakest one, the 11, I won't say there was only 3, because I don't want to make this too powerful, because, I ain't that much. I ain't that stupid, to be honest. Now, the people that were inside the test experiments. Now, it was one girl that had nothing to lose. She's gonna be a mystery until we get further into this what if. Of course, the second one was also a girl, and the last one, the 13 Tails. Yes, and I'm gonna say the 13 Tails is based off of a not a wolf. It's already been done. I'm pretty sure. No, a cat has been done, not a wolf. I'm gonna say the 13 Tails based off of a wolf. The 12 Tails is based off of a. I don't know what to base it off of. Let's just say the 12 Tails is based off of a monkey, and the 11 Tails is based off of a. You know what? I'm gonna give 11 Tails the wolf and Izuku a human figure type tailed beast. Kind of. It kind of holds a little bit of every single thing that they had, including some Nine Tails blood and some octopus blood, so then they could like heal themselves a little bit faster. And F it, I'm gonna say even some sand, cause I'm that nigga, and this is what I want for my what if. Now, after they, of course, woke up, they went their separate ways, but they promised to meet up again, because you can't be in a world with people this powerful and not at least meet up once, in a year. Because first off, they don't know what happened to them. They don't even know if this kills them slowly. They don't know what's happening. So they all go their separate ways, including Izuku Midoriya. Now, Izuku goes back home, and then his mother and father didn't know. And by the way, his mother and father was helping him with these experiments. But his father shortly died from lung cancer. I'm just gonna say lung cancer. Now, sorry, like, I don't know what's wrong with my allergies, but anyway, as I was saying, yeah, that's basically what happened, and he gets tested, and the doctors see nothing particularly wrong, because they can't really pick up energies. And by the way, if you didn't know, tailed beasts, they're not technically animals. They're just powers of chakra in the form of animals. Which basically means that when you see a tailed beast, you're just looking at a bunch of chakra by itself, put inside of an animal's form. Now, anyway, I just died. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, basically, they test him and nothing's wrong. Now, he goes back to school, quirkless still, and everybody, they don't really care, because I'm gonna say they treat quirkless people like trash. Again, inside of this what if. So, they see Izuku and they still bully him, but they go a little bit softer on the bullying, because even if somebody does look heartless, they do still have feelings, and they know right from wrong usually when they're kids. So I'm gonna make his life a little bit easier. Now, when his father died, his mom almost instantly went off of drugs and drinking. Now, this made him have to take care of himself. And this was not a bad or a good thing, because on one hand, it could be a bad thing, but on the other hand, it could be a good thing, because he doesn't really have to worry about anyone being inside of his life if this does anything. Well, if his tailed beast does anything. Now, he goes to school every single day. And one day, Bakugo just ticks him off. Like, to the point of no return. Now, when he does this, Bakugo then sees Izuku shaking, and he's like, he's about to cry. Well, not exactly. As Izuku keeps on shaking, Bakugo then notices that there, around him is a red aura. Now, he doesn't realize why this is, and he isn't in his tail form, but he is under Ninetales influence. And if you don't know the difference, Ninetales influence, you don't get a tail. You just get the slit eyes and a red cloak around you. You don't get a tail. So you are still extremely powerful. You just aren't as powerful as the tailed part of you would be. Now, as I was saying, Bakugo then backs up. He's like, I thought he was supposed to be corkless. And Izuku looks at him with red eyes. And if you're under the Ninetales influence by a little bit, your eyes don't turn red. They keep their color, but they do become slit-like. His eyes were completely red, my guy. You already know what I'm gonna have to do to Bakugo, right? Right? I'm not stupid here. Yeah, Bakugo's about to get his shit folded. Now, Izuku grabs him by his neck and then throws him into the ground. Bakugo then gets up and then swings at Izuku, but Izuku dodges this, and then he punches him in the throat. Now, as he punches him in the throat, Bakugo spits out a little bit of blood. Now, as this happens, he then looks Bakugo in the eyes, and Bakugo, he doesn't even realize he stopped fighting. He stopped fighting as soon as he looked inside of his eyes, because he can see the death, rage, and all around pain inside of his eyes. Now, he then grabs Bakugo and throws him through the school. And now Bakugo's on the ground outside, spitting out blood. Do I even have to tell you how wrong this goes? Yeah. Every single last bone in his body was broken. And they are broken one by one. Like, Izuku really wanted to make him feel pain. So then he gets up and he walks away. Thank you for all the people that just said bless you. Now, he then, since it was self-defense, kind of, he doesn't go to jail or juvie, but he does get put on probation. So what that means is no fights, no drinking. You basically can't do anything wrong where you risk yourself going to jail. Yep, I know things about the world. Now, basically, he then gets up, and this is a few days later. He then gets up and he notices he's not inside of his room. At least, he knows he's not inside of his room. A normal person would think that they were in their room, but he just knows it isn't his actual room. He then looks around, and then he notices there's someone in front of him, someone that he doesn't notice. He then says, "Who are you?" The man then says, "They call me, well, the beasts call me Tomo." He says, "What type of name is Tomo?" He then says, "Tomo, listen. What do you want, and why am I inside of illusion?" He says, Tomo then says, "You're not inside of an illusion. You're inside of your own mind." Yeah, I know it's kind of confusing how you could get trapped inside of your own mind, but it's possible. Now, Izuku then says it's not really that hard to realize that this is either a very bad dream or you were actually something that I created. He then says, "Oh, you didn't create me." I'll be right back. Okay, I'm remaking this again. Now, as I was saying, he says, "Oh, you didn't make me. You just gave me a physical form. I've always been here. Energy itself. You humans hold power within. Some people can tap into the tiniest bit to create flames or make themselves stronger. But listen, kid, you guys will never, ever, unless someone from the old ages taught you how to, you guys will never be able to access what we call chakra. Now, I was never made because there would have to be at least one other Ten Tails. I mean, two other Ten Tails. And then one other Tailed Beast. Or something with a massive amount of chakra. That's what you would need to create me. Now, the others are all weaker than you. My special power is, well, it's darkness. Now, it's not a physical nature. No. It peers directly inside of the soul. I'm gonna leave you alone, and you're gonna wake up from wherever the fuck you are. He then says, next time that I see you here, his eyes then turn from black to red. And then he says, next time, let's just say, your body won't be able to handle what's gonna happen next. His eyes then go back to black, and Izuku then wakes up. This is where I'm gonna leave it off. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. I might or might not make another video today. So I'll see you guys later, and good night.
The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the walls, in the closet, in the halls. It comes awake and I can't